My name is Zach Noble, and I'm going to dive into the basis of social power. For some, power is everything in their definition of society. Money, management, entitlement, not always congruent, but for others, they don't care to have any part of power. They only view it as recognition. Power is a useful concept for really describing business structure only if it has certain stability over time. This theory of 5 social organizational powers was founded by John R.P. French Jr. and Bertram Raven in 1959. The premise really starts by involving at least 2 parties. It has to in order to have power on another individual. It really explains the phenomenon of social influence and power, examined the effect of power derived from the laws of attraction, concluded for more legitimate coercion, the less produced resistance and decreased attention. It later grew to 6 social powers as it got developed within the business setting. They added informational power. These 2 groups are based in 2 categories, formal and informal powers. All power is important when you're working to achieve the company's initiatives and goals. Really understanding the different forms of power are vital to maneuvering through a company and rising to the top to being a C-level executive. Employees have more respect for executives when the power is used properly in certain power roles. So the difference between formal and informal, really a formal is a title within the organizational chart, whether you're a junior, manager, senior, VP, or C-level with direct responsibilities. And then informal move to most powerful. It doesn't really have to be a manager, just based on influence. So whoever is the most powerful and has the best ability to lead, it shows informal power. Now, displaying reward power is really possessing the ability to give positive or negative consequences. Being recognized for reaching goals or objective one desires is really how you earn reward power, or how you get reward power distributed. Some examples are bonuses, raises, promotion, or even extra time off. Now, legitimate power is another formal power which revolves around the organizational authority. It really is the most complex power. Always involves around some sort of code or standard. When you're speaking of it, it's should, ought to, has a right to, usually given to you. So be careful. It can be taken away from you quite quickly. The most legitimate way to gain legitimate power is through election. Really, that's how you possess the legitimate power. Coercive power is really being able to instill fear in others for punishment when they refuse to comply. So it's really not sustainable and ends up burning bridges. If a worker falls below required productivity, is withholding the reward, the actual punishment? I believe so. So with coercive power, one can cause to leave the field entirely. Another example is a junior employee may work longer hours just to meet a strict deadline. Now, referent power, it's really another name for it is connection power. It's all about the association with others who possess power regarding around networking. So conveying a sense of approval through charisma, likability, and other positive behaviors, that's how you gain referent power. Truly being trusted and respected. You don't really need a title to possess referent power. Next is expert power. I believe it's really the most straightforward power. And so with expert power, it's really possessing specific abilities, skills, and or knowledge. It's gaining experience that create an expertise. I believe everybody's goal, whether in their field, their passion, or in one specific area, should try to become gain expert power. I believe you're deemed indispensable and transformed into legitimate power is what expert power can transform into. And a great example of this is an engineer taking outside coding courses, which is one of the most popular expert powers in today's society. Lastly, I want to touch up on informational power. It really isn't one of the original five. They added it in business journals such as Business Insider, Forbes, you named it, all the majors. But it's really the most elusive. It's in regards to the one who is the most informed has the most power. It really doesn't last long. So once you give away the piece of information you possess, you give away all of your power. Also, it really doesn't influence or build credibility oftentimes. So you want to hang on to that power in certain situations. Thank you.